Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we're looking at the Texas Motor Speedway, so strap in and let's get to it. Uh, as always, first thing to point out, shifting. You're going to be shifting into fifth gear down the back straightaway, and then you're going to be downshifting going into one. It is important to know that, again, I am doing this in solo car, so your speeds are going to vary when you're in the draft. You're probably going to be shifting into fifth gear sooner. I do not think that you're going to be in fifth gear through turn one. It just bogs down too much and it just amplifies the tightness. Um, I find that this car starts off pretty tight, but again, I am in solo car. When you're in the draft and the car is carrying more speed and it gets lower to the ground, it might feel a lot better. But at least in solo car, I find that I'm pretty tight to start, and then it does loosen up over the run goes on. Again, I think a lot of that just has to do with the air. Important to know, I really want to get into turn one. So a lot of people over the years I've seen like to drive this car down into the corner and lift as they're trying to get to the apex. I do not. I've always been lifting well before the entrance of turn one. Um, my thing is you save the right front a lot more, but you also generate a much bigger runoff. Okay, it just saves the tires a lot. So if you notice here when we go into turn one where I'm lifting, as soon as we get parallel with the wall is where I like to get off. And then once you feel comfortable in the center, that's typically where you want to get back in the gas. The point of that is you don't want to be cracking the throttle um, trying to get off the corner. Okay, it's the slowest corner on the racetrack. You want to keep your momentum. Okay, so if you're driving it deep down into the corner and you're waiting to get on the gas and then you're trying to rush the gas to get off the corner and you get tight or have a slip up, you got to crack the gas. You lose all your momentum down the back straightaway, and it hurts you through three and four as well because even though you are lifting in three and four, you're still carrying a lot of speed and a lot of momentum. So you're just trying to do everything to optimize this part of the racetrack, and that all starts by getting off a turn two. If you get off a turn two with a lot of momentum, you're going to carry that momentum through the rest of the lap. Okay, now for three and four. Again, solo car, I thought that I'd be able to more or less take this wide open when the tires got heat. I wasn't able to. So if you're not able to do that in solo car, chances are you're not going to be able to do that in draft as well because of the dirty air. Uh, Cold tires, this thing feels like it has next to no grip. As you saw earlier in the run that I was doing, like you're lifting a lot, pretty much off the throttle completely, which is tough to do because this corner is so sweeping and you carry so much speed, you're in the gas for so long, but you got to get down into the corner. If you overdrive the corner and it starts pushing up in the center, it can get nasty. Okay, it becomes a handful. Um, there is grip as you go up the racetrack, but the tire itself feels like it's struggling to take that grip when you overdrive the corner. Okay, you really got to get out of the gas. You want to keep it as low as you can. I think in the race, once the track takes rubber, there's a prime example right there, lap seven. I missed the entry, got up in the center, and you saw uh, how I was struggling to get through the rest of that corner. Um, but you want to keep it down, is what I'm getting at. In the race, when the track takes rubber, I think it'll widen out a little bit. You'll have a little bit of leeway. But as far as I'm concerned, you still want to be on the bottom. It's going to save your tires. In years past, we've seen the wall in 3 and 4 kind of come into play. More so in the trucks. I don't think it's going to be a factor in this car. Um, but when you guys are doing your races, just keep a note of that later in the run. If people start to go up there and making it work, it usually means that there's some good grip up there. It might be an option. I wouldn't do it in solo car, and I've never tried to run a lap up there myself. I've always just stuck to the bottom in 3 and 4 and just tried to manage it. Another thing for 3 and 4, when you are in the draft, if the leader is able to go wide open, which I doubt, but if so, you want to be able to sit there and ride behind them through 3 and 4 and try to build your run. The draft is going to keep you close. Okay, so if you're able to sit behind them and just ride, half or three-quarter throttle or less throttle than what the leader's doing, you're still going to get that run. You're still going to get that draft down the straightaway and have a chance to go into turn one. So it's a great opportunity to try to save your tires. Okay, there's no reason to try to start your pass in the middle of 3 and 4. is what I'm getting at. You don't want to be driving any harder than you need to. The draft is going to keep you close and give you a run down the straightaway, and it's going to give you an opportunity to pass into turn one, which I think is the preferred passing place anyway because it's such a slower corner. Okay, real quick, we'll go into the in-car here and try to give you guys a visual and point out um, real quick. So again, once we get parallel to this wall is where I get off, so well before the Texas sign, and you're just trying to make a nice arc. I know a few people like to get really low entering this corner. It's not a bad thing. I prefer the arc because you carry more corner speed. Okay, and again, once you get down to the white line and the car feels comfortable, that's when you want to gas it up and go. Again, in the draft, I think you're going to be shifting a lot sooner than that. But you are going to be in fifth gear. You definitely do not want to be in fourth gear through this part of the racetrack. You're on the chip through 3 and 4, and you're just losing a ton of time. Hey, again, for turn one, a lot of it is a timing thing too. You really got to get in that rhythm. If you miss your shift and you're in fifth gear for too long, it's not going to turn down the same because it's not slowing down. It's a timing thing. Definitely recommend getting some practice in on it. Turn three is all feel. You're just lifting and trying to get to the white line. So here we go for the quiet lap. Okay, guys, once again, I can't stress this enough. What you see here with me in solo car is going to be quite a bit different to what you feel in the draft, okay? The driving line is the same, the technique is going to be the same, but your feels are going to be a lot different. Dirty air is more likely going to make you feel like you're plowing tight, and this thing already in the first eight-ish laps feels pretty snug. Again, I know it's solo car, but typically dirty air amplifies what you're feeling. Um, Very important to just be smooth on the gas. You want to take care of that right rear tire as well. As even though the right front is probably going to burn up more, it's still equally as important to try to manage your right rear. If you can get 20, 25, even 30 laps into this thing and you've been taking care of your tires, you're going to notice a massive difference in speed. Okay, it's been like that for the trucks, Xfinity, and the next gen car in years past. If you are melting your tires and going really hard early, you're going to sink at the end. And the guys that take care of their stuff early are usually a good 2 to 3 tenths a lap faster. Okay, it's a big swing. So it's really important to take care of your stuff. Okay, that'll do it for this week's video. As always, if you guys like the video, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or need any sort of extra help, please leave a comment down below and I will gladly get back to them throughout the week. Lastly, if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday once they're posted to the Maconi YouTube page. All right, best of luck this week, and we'll see you out on the track.